Okay, so welcome to French 2, Semester 2. Semester 2 is going to be really different for us here at VHS. So maybe you already went over some of this stuff last hour, but I'm going to go through it again. All right, so maybe your teacher talked about it in hour 2, but maybe you didn't have a class hour 2. So I'm just going to go through some expectations really quickly about semester 2 because it's going to look pretty different from semester 1. And then we can get into some French stuff, but it's mostly just logistics today. Just kind of going through the basics. All right, so in the second semester, you're gonna become proficient describing an apartment or a house. You're gonna develop the vocabulary needed to describe a room and its furniture. You're gonna develop proficiency in asking questions. And then begin mastering IR and RE verbs, and then learn to recognize the preiterite or the passé composé. Preiterite is just a fancy way of saying the past. It's a type of past tense. So that's generally what we're going to be doing this semester. All right, so this is really what I wanted to go over. Because we're going to start in-person learning February 8th, I wanted to make it a chance to kind of go over what that's going to look like for y'all. So on Mondays, that's not going to change. All right. So whether it's for French or for another class, it's going to be Mondays are asynchronous. Easy peasy. All right. So you want to look at the calendar. And then what's going to happen is on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're going to log into Zoom. Same old, same old. So that hasn't changed. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're still logging into Zoom for your classes. So for French 2, I'll be here. But starting February 8th, I will be teaching like this with my mask on. In fact, I'll be wearing 2 masks. So maybe I'll have to I've got like a mic, I think. And teachers are going to be teaching like this because we'll have students in the classroom. And students will be wearing masks as well. So some of you will come into the class and you'll be sitting here in the classroom with me and you'll be wearing this mask. And then most of you will be at home. All right. So we've split people up into 2 groups, wild and cats. So if you're part of the wild group, it's a fun group to be part of, you come in on Tuesday and Wednesday to your classes. So you'll be in class, but you'll still be on the Zoom. So you'll still need your iPad, you'll get some headphones and a microphone and stuff. But yeah, you'll be in our classroom, which is room N2011. Right? And I've put that room number kind of everywhere all over the Canvas site. And once we go back to in-person, once we start having students coming in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, I'll show you where it is on the map of the school. But the most important thing is that it's going to be similar where you're just going to be logging into Zoom as usual. So whether you're coming in person or staying virtual, you'll be logging into Zoom as usual. Right? So one group of in-person students are coming in Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a different group are coming in Thursday, Friday. And this is our schedule. This is what the schedule looks like. So you'll notice today we started at 11:10 instead of 11. Classes you'll see are an hour long. So that's changed too. And it's still 45-minute classes, so that hasn't changed. But we've added on an extra 15 minutes of office hours or support. And that's a great time for teachers to support you. So in French, for example, if you're missing an assignment, that's a great time to check in and say, okay, well, how can I get started on this? Or, oh, you need to catch up on this work and I can help you with that. All right. Office hours are still going to be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and I'll still be giving you access to a Google Doc that you can sign up. You can use to sign up for office hours. But then there will be these additional office hours, the last 15 minutes of the scheduled class time. It's a great way to keep up with classwork. I struggle with keeping up with work. I'm sure some of you do too. But it's a lot easier, and I can speak from experience here, it's a lot easier to keep up with something than it is to catch up. It's a lot easier to maintain than it is to kind of try to catch up after the fact. All right. So in most classes, you'll be doing the same thing both in person and virtually. There will be some teachers who are really innovative and really creative and think of great ways to distinguish those two groups, but myself and a lot of other teachers, it's going to look pretty much the same as before. If you're coming into school, not all of you are, but if you're coming into school, you'll be bringing your supplies and taking them home with you. And that's going to be really important, right? You can't just have a set of supplies that you leave in the classroom. You don't have a locker like you might normally. Classes will start and end on Zoom for everybody. So here, this is similar to semester 1. So none of this is super new, but I commit to updating Canvas assignments and grades regularly. I commit to organizing my Canvas class so it's easy to follow. I try to make the website really, really easy to follow. I try to be really flexible and understanding. I think I'm good at that. I hope I'm good at that. And I want to make the class a highlight of your day, where you feel like it's meaningful and interesting. And then for y'all, I'm asking you to check the Canvas calendar daily. So as you know, I use the Canvas calendar a lot. I'm going to ask you to do your best to stay on top of projects. But if you fall behind, to communicate, right? That's really, really essential. That's a really great life skill to build, is when you're falling behind or something comes up, to communicate. That's a really, really great thing to practice. And then do your best. That's all you can do, is your best. All right, so I'll go ahead and pause recording and I'll make some room for some questions. All right, so as questions come up, please let me know. You can send me a Canvas message or just come to class tomorrow with some good questions. So Unit 2. So this week and next Tuesday, we'll finish work on quel and ce. Okay, so starting tomorrow, we'll start work in French. Okay, quel and ce. And then next week, we'll start reviewing ER verbs. So these are verbs like travailler, parler, étudier. And I don't know which ones you know, but I'm sure you know some of those. I'm sure you've learned parler and habiter. Maybe you've learned étudier and travailler. I'm not sure. But we'll go over those a little bit. And we'll visit mettre, which is another verb that's really, really helpful. And then Wednesday of week 3, we'll begin Unit 3. And I just showed that to y'all in the Canvas course, but if you want, I'll show it again. So let me go into student view. Learning modules. And if we scroll down, so we're finishing up module 2, and then module 3, you can see, okay, well, what's going on with module 3? This is what we're going to be doing. And this will change a little bit. I don't know what numbers I'll number asynchronous lessons. Okay, but these are the things you'll be doing. All right, so let's return to the Unit 2 activity packet to continue our work on quel and ce. And then tomorrow, I'll lead you through a Canvas quiz to practice using them. I would love to get y'all 80% there. So again, not expecting 100% perfection with quel and ce, but I'd love it if you could be correct most of the time, 80% of the time when using quel and ce. So let's go ahead and open up our activity packets. So you'll remember you have this, and I think we will end up submitting them at the end of the unit. So here it's going to be starting on slide 14, depending on how you've edited it. So go ahead and take a moment to review those. We talked about them a little bit last week, but I want to also give you some time to review it in anticipation of tomorrow. Okay, so again, tomorrow I hope you come with some great questions about the semester and how the semester is going to work. We will get right back into French tomorrow with quel and ce, and we'll wrap that up with Unit 2. We'll start wrapping up Unit 2 with some ER verbs like porter. And then Unit 3 will start week 3. This is also a great time to catch up on work from last quarter. I know some people are missing some work, so I wanted to slow roll this first week as you transition to your new classes, to also give you some time to catch up a little bit. So that's all I have for today. It is 11:52. Usually we'll go to 11:55, and then we'll have 15 minutes of office hours. So just like we normally did, except now there's more time set aside for it, I'll stick around to answer your questions. Otherwise, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Au revoir.
Mr. Hare, I was just wondering, on the activity packet, what activity